Hi, welcome. I'm Nadawa with Pixar Designs, and thank you for joining me today for another draw and chat session. We're going to be drawing this hot cocoa SVG that you see right here. And we're going to be doing that in Inkscape. If this is the first time that you are joining me, welcome. Like I said, I'm Nadawa, and I am a blogger and illustrator, digital illustrator at Paperflow Designs. And I teach crafters and other people that want to be maybe digital illustrators how to make digital illustrations using Inkscape and how to make SVGs using Inkscape. So we are going to jump into that right now. And as you come in, let's say happy Friday to you if you are watching this live with me. And if you don't have Inkscape open right now, if you're like watching this maybe on your phone or something like that, you can always rewatch this later. If you are a member of my VIP club, you've gotten an email to let you know what time I'm going live. If you are not a member of my VIP club, all you have to do is go over to Paperflow Designs. I have something to show you here. All you have to do is go over to Paperflow Designs. You can't really see it at the bottom there, which is PAPERFLO designs.com. And you will see a link where you can just sign up for free to get on my VIP list. You'll know exactly when we're going live each time. Another thing that I'm using, one of the tools I'm using, like I said, I'm using Inkscape to do this tutorial, but I'm also using my Inkscape Ready, Set, Go book. And that's an ebook that you can download. It has all of the shortcuts that I use for all of these drawings I make in Inkscape. Let me take that down, make this a little bit bigger. As you're coming in, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. I want to say Happy New Year too if I haven't seen you or spoken to you yet. All right, get that nice and big so we can see. Let's jump right into making this hot cocoa SVG. So we're just going to start off using the squares and rectangles tool. I'm just pulling like a medium-sized square, and of course I'm going to convert it to a path and pull out the bottom and pull down the top layer to make it curved because I want to make the curve of the mug. And this is just really like, an informal like drawing and chatting session. If you are interested in really learning how to make your own SVGs and, seeing all of the actual step-by-step the steps. I have an SVG course that teaches you how to make your own SVGs, which is called So Simple SVG files. You can also find out about that if you go over to paperflowdesigns.com. Hello, is this Xiomara? Let me know if I'm saying that correctly. I think it's Xiomara because it's a name that I've seen before and I like the way that it's spelled. But good morning to you. You're watching from Pennsylvania. I like PA. I used to go to university in Pennsylvania, actually at Penn State. Oh, great. I love when that because I have a name that a lot of people, unless you're, I want to say, you know, from West Africa or seen my name before, it's a name that people can sometimes mess up. So I always try to ask people, how do you say your name correctly? Or, let me know. So I want to get that correct. Is it snowing over there, Xiomara? Because I know my sister, she's on the East Coast in the US, and they got like a huge snowstorm. I don't know like how many feet, but I know that there was like snow all over like the Maryland, DC, Virginia area. Since I know Pennsylvania is kind of not too far. I don't know if you guys got snow too. All right, so we are just double clicking to get those nodes so that we can kind of round out the shape because I don't want it, completely straight up and down. Right. 4 to 6 inches so far. So this fits in with the Winter Wonderland theme. Lots of snow everywhere. I don't know if you are a fan of snow because I like growing up in Maryland, I was not a fan. I was a fan when I was a little kid, like when we had like a snow day. Of course, who's not going to be a fan when it's a snow day? Um, because you don't have to go to school, so that was great. But then I kind of like always forgot that my parents would always make us go out and shovel the driveway and stuff. And that kind of like put a damper on the snow day part of it. But it was still fun with like my brother and sister. We would like have little snowball fights in the backyard, come back in, like change out of like our wet gloves and like wet shoes and stuff. Not a fan of it. Yes, I understand completely. Yeah, it's beautiful like when it's coming down, but if you have to like, move around and operate it, like if you have to like go to work, what else would it? Because like now I live in France, in the south of France, so we don't get snow. I think I've been here like 15 years and we've had snow once or maybe twice, and it didn't even like stick. It's like it hits the ground and then it melts. But I do remember having to go out like in Maryland and like scraping the ice off the windshield and yeah, warming up like well you can't really warm up, but back then you couldn't warm up your car before you got in it. But I think like the new cars they can now. But yeah, the older cars you just have to like, wait and get it warmed up when you got in it. Right. So I'm making the mug handle with just a circle again. So it's not something that, you have to be an expert to do something like this. Even if you're a beginner, I try to like tailor these these like, especially the draw and chat sessions for beginners to show you that you can just use basic shapes and draw something really great in Inkscape. Right, so I'm rounding out that mug handle there. Yeah, so these days for my wintry days, I don't have any snow, but I do have a cup of tea or let's see here, or hot chocolate to keep me warm because people think because it's the south of France, it doesn't get cold here. It still gets cold. We just don't have snow. So far, I'm just using those two colors and using the color dropper now to change the color of the handle to match the outside of the mug. So we have this light blue and this darker blue. And I'm just going to duplicate that handle because I want to kind of like make a shadow on the handle. So I'm going to use the color dropper to change the color of the second handle, which I've duplicated. And now we're going to kind of play around with the nodes and align it. So align it. I don't know if that's what it sounded like I said. So that it looks like a shadow. So even though we're working with basically like, 2D things in Inkscape, we can still move things around and duplicate it to make it look like, give it a three-dimensional look. I'm trying out a new time today too because usually I come and do these Friday chats later in the day. But sometimes I am like lower energy later in the day, so I'm trying out this earlier time. Let me know if that works for you. What do you think of it? I know a lot of you watch it on replay too, so maybe the time is not a huge deal. here you can see I'm just shrinking up the second handle to make it look like the shadow, and then I can zoom in and play around with the nodes because I don't want you to be seeing some parts of the dark blue handle behind it. So just to get the nodes, just double click on it. Oh, I don't know if you also notice I'm like in a different part of the house or the apartment. I'm usually like in my bedroom / office. So I got kicked out and moved to the living room today. I'm just gonna move these nodes around. And if you don't have a graphic tablet, you can still make this design. I have a graphic tablet that I use. It's the Huion, like I don't know, everybody pronounces it different. It's a Huion one. I've never like heard how to pronounce it, so I don't even know how to pronounce it. But it's Huion brand of tablets, and I've been using that for years. I think like more than 3 years now, and I like it. It's the same one that I've been using since the beginning. It works great for me, and it comes with a pen. But if you don't have that, you can also draw in Inkscape using just your mouse. That is a possibility. The only thing about when you're using a mouse is that if you're doing something like that has like an intricate design, maybe that has a lot of layers or like a lot of curves and stuff, I do find that your wrist, or my wrist at least, starts to like cramp up and stuff, and it's just easier if I use the pen with the graphic tablet than the mouse. But if you're a beginner, then starting out with the mouse is fine, especially kind of like you want to like get a feel to see if you like Inkscape because maybe you like it, making SVGs, maybe you don't. So try it out with the mouse first if you're not sure if you're gonna stick with it. All right, so we've got the outside of the mug done. I'm duplicating the inside because I want to make the hot chocolate inside. So to make things easy, I just duplicated that. Select the two shapes and I just get the difference of it. And I'm going to change the color to a brown hot chocolatey color. All right, and now it's time for the marshmallows. Toss the marshmallows and just using the squares and rectangles tool. So I'll pull out the top and the bottom of the square because our marshmallows are kind of like a tubular shape. And then I'm going to round out the corners of those nodes because I don't want them to be at 90-degree angles. This is also part 1 of the Winter Wonderland series. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning. So we're going to have, I have 2 more. Yeah, usually I have 3 in the series. So there's going to be 2 more drawing tutorials, chat sessions that are packed in with this Winter Wonderland series. And if you are in my VIP group, you can find out first what they're all going to be, because I do send you those emails, let you know what we're going to be drawing, when we're going to be drawing. Right, and I'm just duplicating that marshmallow to give it a shadow. If you are enjoying these sessions, feel free to share them with a friend. Just click somewhere on the, I don't know whether you're watching me on Facebook or I'm also streaming on YouTube. Share this with a friend, another crafty person is interested in learning how to draw or just wants to maybe see what it looks like before they jump into it, or maybe they just want like new ideas of things to draw. So if you would share that with them, if you like what we're doing here, I would love that. All right, so there is our first marshmallow. So we've got the side of it, we've got the top of it, just using our squares and rectangles tool. I'm going to change the color because I don't want it to be that much of a contrast, but I still want you to be able to see the difference between the top and the bottom. But since I'm working on a white background, I'm not going to make the marshmallow white. I could put like, I think last week, what did I do? I drew like just like a blue squarish background to put behind the mittens so that you can see like the white outlines of it. So that's another option too. If you really can't see, let's say you want to draw something in white and you really can't see it, you can make another layer, make it a different color, a little, a solid dark color, put that behind everything, like what I did in the mittens tutorial last week. All right, so now if I move it over, now you can see the marshmallow. So it's like this white, off-whitish color. And I'll shrink it, like sort of like a mini marshmallow, not quite. Get a little bit wider. And then to make things easier, I love a good shortcut. So I just duplicate it. If I've made the first one and it looks good, I like the way that it's looking, I just duplicate it. Also, you can see in that far right corner that I have the first marshmallow that I did. I like to copy and duplicate sections because I never know if I want to go back and use them again. Because sometimes I'll make something, let's say it has 2, 3, 4, 5 different parts, and then I'm going to combine them or group them. And then along the way, I'm going to change them, do other things to them. And if the Control Z button doesn't do everything I want to undo it, I still have a copy that I can use somewhere else on the canvas. All right, so now I just duplicated the hot chocolate. So that little semicircle, that little kind of like eye shape, because we're going to use that to make like a shadow around the marshmallows. So it's not going to stay with this same exact shape, but I'm going to use it as a base. And then I'm going to play around with the nodes. And those are those little gray squares, and just change the shapes around. So even though this is a vector program, we can use it kind of like the same way we would do in like a freehand drawing program like Procreate. If you don't know what Procreate is, it's a drawing program that you can use with iPad. So it's like a Mac program. And it's not vector, so it won't save it as an SVG if that's what you want to do. But it is good for drawing too. I do like to do things in there. Oh, and I almost forgot, I wanted to ask you guys if you were interested in like seeing like animation in these designs. Because even though like I mostly do just SVGs, I have been playing around in Procreate, and Procreate lets you add animation to your designs. So if that is something that you are interested in, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of that. An example would be, let's say, once you finish this hot cocoa, I don't know if you remember what it looked like at the beginning, but it had like steam coming up off of the top of the cup. So in Procreate, you can, what's I say? You can animate the steam part of it. So it'll be like, it's like on top of my cup, like you'll see like the steam floating up and down. And that's something that you can do in Procreate. So if you're interested in things like that, let me know, because I don't want to just go off on a tangent if no one wants to see that, even though I think it's really cool. So I'm just playing around with the nodes because I just want like an organic kind of shape. Like when you have like, when you have like your hot chocolate and you have the marshmallows in there, and depending on where your light source is coming from, you're going to have a little bit of a shadow. So I just want to add this darker brown shape in there to be the shadow that's being made from the marshmallows. Doesn't look like it right now. It kind of looks like they're just splashing it. But once I put put the marshmallows behind the dark brown one, you'll see what I mean. All right, so we have our cup. We have our 3 marshmallows, and we have got our shadow. Now it's time to draw the steam. Good morning, Lizzie. How are you? We're over here drawing this hot cocoa SVG with marshmallows because for me it's not really hot cocoa if I don't have marshmallows. That's just me. How do you like yours? My daughter has started experimenting. She makes hot chocolate now and she's put ginger in it. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know about that. But it was kind of nice. It was good. It wasn't too much. It was like just a little pinch. You can barely taste it, but it just kind of adds this, I don't know, kind of like a little texture to it. A little spice. Since I'm not a coffee drinker, so I'm not one of those people that's like, going to Starbucks and getting like the 300 different flavors that they have. Coffee's just not my thing. So hot chocolate and tea, that's what I stick with. And now I'm gonna have my daughter making me more of these ginger hot chocolates because it was good, good, good. You are doing well. I'm glad to hear that. I'm doing well too. Now that I got my tea, I'm thinking warm thoughts, even though it's winter time. And people like make fun of me here because it's not that cold here, but it's still cold. It's still January. This is still Europe, so it still gets cold, even though it's the South. So all that to say, I'm keeping warm thoughts, staying warm, and I really can't complain because I'm working from home. It's warm here. All right, so to make the steam on here, I just use a circle, which I turned into like an oval, and then played around with the nodes to kind of make like 2 C shapes. Those 2 C shapes are just going to combine them to give us that, nice sinewy S pattern of our steam. You can see like on the side there, I had what we drew last week, which was the mittens. Lizzie, remind me again, is it snowing where you live? Because like I was just talking before and Sierra was telling me that she's got like 4 to 5 inches of snow. I think you were in Chicago, if I am correct. I might have gotten that mixed up, but let me know. I know it is snowing on the East Coast, and if it's snowing on the East Coast, I'm thinking Chicago might have gotten hit with a little bit of snow too. Maybe, maybe not. All right, so I'm just stretching out that shape that I combined together there. Oh no, you're in VA. Okay, okay, not Chicago. I was coming. So then that means you did get some snow. Yes, because I have some friends, and one of them she had posted up a picture on Instagram of her backyard deck, and the whole grill was like covered in snow. So she has like her barbecue grill on there, and I don't know, like from the photo, it looked like a good foot of snow sitting on top of the grill. I'm like, that is a good time to make yourself some hot cocoa and stay inside. And so just change the color of the steam and shrinking it because I want to have a little bit of variation. So I have one long one short one. And then flipping over, duplicate it again, flip it over. All right, it snowed on Monday. All right, do the kids still get snow days? That's what I was wondering because I read, I don't know, I think I was listening to a podcast and they were saying like, oh, remember back in the day when it used to snow and we would get snow days? And I was like, what do you mean back in the day? Like, what's changing? And then the host was like, oh, because now they do online school So you don't need to have snow days. I'm like, oh no, my poor nieces. Like they're not gonna have snow days. I don't know. I have to call my sister and ask her if they got snow days. That's just terrible. Like who doesn't remember like being a kid and running to the window like it was like watching the news at like 7 o'clock, see the forecast, I'm like, is it gonna snow? Is it gonna snow? Crossing our fingers. And then waiting, like, watching the sky, like the snow coming down. And the first thing you get up like early in the morning is to look outside if there's snow on the ground because you knew it was going to be a snow day. Okay, so your kids still get them. All right. I know they're happy about that. I don't know if you're happy because that usually means like, one parent is staying home with them, but maybe that's a snow day for you too then. All right. So here is our hot cocoa SVG. So we made the cups. Everything here that we did, as you saw, or if you're just jumping in, you'll rewatch this again. But if you are not here for the first time, I like to do all these tutorials using simple shapes. So we've used a square, we've used a circle to draw everything that you see here. So if you want to try this on your own, feel free to try that. If you're not drawing right now and you want to come back and watch it later, maybe slow it down, that's fine too. Thank you so much to your mom for telling me that you love the SVG. Also, let me know, what other kind of things that you want to see. Because a lot of these things are, things I'm pulling up from my own head or like looking to see what's popular on like on Pinterest or what things that people are interested in right now. But since you are coming here to watch and take this in, feel free to leave me some comments. Let me know what other things that you want to see in the future. Like I said, this is part one of the three-part series of the Winter Wonderland series. So there's still going to be next Friday another drawing tutorial chat session. If you want to know what that is ahead of time, like I said, jump on the VIP club over at paperflowdesigns.com and you'll know when you get the email what we're going to be drawing. All right, I still see some comments about the snow days coming up. Mara said she is not happy about the snow days. All right. So yeah, I guess it's different from like when you were a kid, you were like, yay, no school. And for parents who are like, no, go back to school. So it's not the same for everyone. All right. I think maybe this might be a good time to come on for you guys. I know for me it works because I like to come and jump on here before my kids get home and everyone is like, you know what it is. Like, Tiamara, you telling me already with your kids being home. People coming and wanting to interact while I am on here or asking me where their socks are or what they're gonna have for a snack. So this looks like a good time to come on here for the live. Let me know what you think of it. I'll try to maybe make this a good time. Or maybe next week we'll come on here. I'll come on here at the same time and see if that works out for you. All right, so if you don't have any questions, I mean, I think that was pretty much simple, straightforward design that you can try yourself if you want to do that in Inkscape. Let's see what else. All right, see how that works for you. All right, it works for you. It works for me so far. I like this time because before I was trying to like line it up with the evening time when people would like maybe finish work, but since I'm over here in France, that means it's like really late in the night for me when I was doing it. Like let's say 6 o'clock. Oh no, what time was I doing it? I was doing it at 6 o'clock my time, which was like noon Eastern Standard Time, but it was not working out so great for family things. But I think this is gonna be a good time. All right, thank you so much as well for watching, and I'll see you guys again next week. Bye. Take care.